How long does it take to build a coaching business? All right, there's actually 3 phases. We're going to be talking about those 3 phases in this episode. We're also going to be talking about YouTube because that's my expertise, and I've helped a lot of coaches leverage YouTube to generate leads for their business. And so by the end of this episode, you'll understand what phase you're in and how to get to the next phase and how to dominate YouTube in your space. All right, phase number 1 is getting trained. You've got to be trained and certified as a coach before you can build your coaching business. So that is phase 1. I'm not an expert in that arena. I can refer you to somebody. We'll talk about that in a minute. Phase 2 is when you start to get clients, even just your first 2 or 3 clients. And then phase 3 is when you're really able to scale it up. You're going to build a business, you're going to ramp up your lead generation and grow your business. So if you are not already trained and certified, I love Brooke Castillo. I highly recommend her. I've seen coaches that she's trained. I've gone through her self-coaching scholars program because I personally didn't want to be a life coach, but I loved her coaching model and I wanted to learn her systems. But she's brilliant. You can find her online. You can find her podcast. That's Brooke Castillo. Now, I should say that is specifically for being a life coach, but I think her models will work for other forms of coaching as well. Okay, now let's jump into phase 2. For phase 2, how do you get started? Because on other episodes in this channel, I've talked about selling the outcome, not selling the process. So if you offer a process of life coaching, you have a process that you take people through or a system that you follow or a model that you follow, you can charge an hourly rate and you can have people just hire you for coaching. But what are they hiring you for coaching for? Like, what outcome do they want? What goals are they trying to accomplish, right? You might test out your life coaching skills and just do it on an hourly basis and just find people, even if you offer it for free, and say, hey, I'm a newly trained life coach. Can I give you some free coaching, right? So then you're just talking about the procedure. You're not talking about the outcome. After you've done that a little bit and you feel like, wow, I really am giving value here, or the people give you feedback, yeah, that was really helpful. I think that was good. I would love to do that another time. If they're willing to pay you for it another time, that's actually a really good sign. But I'm going to propose that you then transition to outcome-based coaching. What are you going to help them achieve? Now, there's another episode on this channel where I talked all about that and gave you some examples of outcome-based coaching. And so I'm going to assume that you know what I'm talking about there, or I'll link to another episode right here. Once you know what that outcome-based coaching is, you still need to give away some coaching for free. So I propose that you give away coaching to 2 or 3 people to help them achieve that outcome so that you can have a portfolio, so that you can have a track record of success, so that you can point to them when you're talking to other people and say, hey, look, this is what I did for them. If you want to achieve the same results, here's the program. Here's the steps we're going to follow. For the remainder of this video, we're going to be talking about phase 3, the scaling or the building of your business. Now, if you are like me or like everyone, nobody likes sales. We don't like to be in the sales role. We think of a used car salesman. And the good news is, as a coach, you don't ever have to go there. You never have to do that type of sales. But the type of sales that you do want to fall in love with is more of a consultant approach, or like a doctor that is doing an assessment. So think about, you have an ailment, a physical ailment, and you go to a medical doctor, and the doctor is going to ask you some questions. He or she's going to find out, okay, where does it hurt? When did this happen? Basically diagnose all the symptoms and test and tweak. If you want to have a good strategy session, something that's helpful for them in the act of having this conversation, but is also helpful in leading you towards getting them as a customer or client, you've got to follow these 5 steps. So the first one is find out where they are. Like, what is their struggle? What have they tried? Okay, and then where do they want to be? What are their goals? What are they trying to accomplish? Step 3 is to actually acknowledge the gap and discover what that gap is. How big is the gap? How big is what they want from where they are? Step 4 is their commitment. Like, how important is it for them to get from where they are to where they want to be? How big of a problem is it if they don't accomplish that? And then step 5 is actually discussing the solution, the pricing, the program that you have to offer. So you take them through all of those steps, and if the program is a fit, if you can really help them get to where they want to go, that's the type of program that they're excited to hear about. So let's get back to talking about time. How long does it take to build a coaching business? Phase 1 was the coaching certification program. I don't know how long that takes. maybe a year, maybe a couple of years. I trust that you can figure that one out. Phase 2, well, that should only take a matter of weeks or months, depending on how long this program is and depending on the result that you're going to help your clients get. But let's say it takes 6 months. You're going to take a few people through that process. It's going to be worth it because you're going to have outcomes that they're going to appreciate. You're going to have testimonials, and you're going to have a process that you can follow to help people repeat that. But phase 3, when you're ready to scale it, I'm going to teach you a strategy on YouTube that will really help you magnetically pull in people who are searching for you, that are looking for your coaching and your expertise. Now, if you follow this strategy correctly, give yourself a couple of months. After a couple of months, you're going to have leads that are going to start to trickle in. You know, this video is going to bring in a lead. Oh, this one's bringing in a lead. And then eventually it's going to be more and more, and you're bringing in leads every single week, every single day. All right, so let me show you what the strategy is. There's actually 9 steps to this strategy. Okay, so people are asking questions. These people have never heard of you before, but they are going to Google and YouTube, and they're typing in questions that you're the perfect person to answer. So if you find those questions, then you can outline those questions. You want your content to be about 10 to 12 minutes in length to answer their question. If you find specific questions, 10 to 12 minutes is the perfect length. Now, I know you're thinking YouTube Shorts or you're thinking TikTok and you think that this sounds too long. Believe it or not, content on YouTube is actually trending longer. Notice how long Mr. Beast episodes are. Now, we're not making that same type of content. We're making educational content. 10 to 12 minutes works extremely well on YouTube. If you want to make shorts, put that on a separate channel. That's just an idea. Then 3, 4, and 5 is the process of filming your content. You've got to put a big focus on your introductions. What you say at the beginning will hook people in and ensure that they stick around for 10 to 12 minutes. I've got another episode, I'll link to it right up here, where I go into great depth on how to do your intro. Just deliver your content, don't sell, and then make sure you have a call to action at the end of the video. That's the whole reason we're making these videos. Why are we making videos? So we can generate leads for our business, and you've got to have a call to action, a free gift of some sort. You've got to design thumbnails. When you launch your episode on YouTube, it's got to have the title, which is the question. So you're repeating that question. That is the title of the video for the strategy to work. Then the whole point of this whole process is getting people to join your email list. Now, let me emphasize this a bit. If you wanted to build a channel like Mr. Beast, his goal is to find people like me that will subscribe to his channel, and then every time he loads a video, we watch it. We watch every single episode. That's the type of following he wants, and he wants to build that following on YouTube. But I'm proposing that's not what I want for my channel. That's not what you want for your channel. Instead, we want people who've never heard of you before to go to Google or YouTube and type in that question, to then find your video. They watch that video. They then join your email list. And every time you send out an email, they read every single one. So that's what we want. We want to build a following on our email list, not on our YouTube channel. I mean, they're going to go back, they're going to watch more videos, but if they never watched another video again, but they read every single email, that is golden. All right, so when you have your email list, you're going to nurture them. You're going to focus on your funnel. I mean, there's a whole lot. There's several episodes we could focus on just talking about building your business, building your funnel. The focus is on search. We're not building an entertaining channel. We're building a lead generation channel that focuses on search traffic. It's predictable. It's evergreen, so your content lasts for years and years. So you just create one episode like this, that's an evergreen marketing machine for your business. You create another episode and another and another. Imagine having hundreds of these machines, each one bringing in a trickle of leads into your business every single week. But you've got hundreds of them. Now you've got a whole fire hose of leads coming into your business. Let me show you one other thing here to drive the point home about these questions in each episode. So each green circle here, that's a leaf. Each leaf represents a question. So if you focus on a single branch and you do every single leaf on that branch, and you look at another branch and say, that's not my target audience, but this branch, that is my target audience. This is a way that you can actually dominate YouTube. Anytime somebody asks a question on this branch, they're gonna find you. So think about it this way. Let's say this branch had 52 leaves on it. I chose the number 52 because there's 52 weeks in a year. If you launch just one episode a week on your channel it'll take you a full year before you can dominate that branch. Or what if you look and you find a dozen branches that each have dozens of leaves on them? Then you might want to consider launching 5 episodes per week. Give yourself a year or 2 to dominate all of those branches. Many of the clients that I work with, that's the level that we produce at, but the results are 7- and 8-figure businesses, meaning business revenue. We're not talking about advertising revenue, but we're talking about these YouTube videos generate leads and we make sales in the tune of 7 and 8 figures. If this strategy feels like a fit, if you feel like this is a way that you want to generate leads and grow your coaching business, I have a gift for you. I put 2 years of work into putting my entire strategy into this book. It's called A Hero's Guide to Influence on YouTube. And as long as you pay the shipping and printing cost of this book, then I'll give it to you, no profit to me. That's my gift to you. Just go to natesyoutubebook.com.